Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. And today's ultimate clean with me, I'll be taking you along as I get my house back in order. As a busy mom, our house gets messy pretty quickly, so in today's video I'll be cleaning up some everyday messes as well as doing a little bit of deep cleaning. And I really hope that this video motivates you to get some things checked off of your to-do list today as well. So get your lists ready and let's clean together.
Then I would have what it takes, make you feel like you're safe, 'cause all I need is just someone like you, someone like you, someone like you.
So for today's video, I'm actually starting up in our playroom, which as you can see is a huge disaster. So if you're new here, my name is Amy and I am a mom of two kiddos, Kaysen, who is 10, and Gracie June, who is 8. My son Kaysen really doesn't play with many toys anymore, and the only thing that he has in here are video games pretty much. But Gracie June, however, loves to play with her next generation dolls. She's got LOL dolls, little ponies, little pet shops, so all kinds of tiny toys. So when her and her friends come up here and play, they literally pull everything out, and this is what it looks like after. Now, typically I do have her clean up her own mess, but because I was cleaning up here today and filming, I decided to go ahead and pick it all up, throw it into the baskets. There's really no rhyme or reason to how I organize things in here anymore. Now, when my kids were younger, I used to organize everything into bins, and they had categories, and we would have labels and everything for most of their toys. But now, since most of them are just Gracie June's toys, there's really not much organization, and everything just goes into a bin, especially if I'm picking up in here. Now, if she wants to organize it when she comes up here and cleans, she does do that. So even though there is a huge mess, it really did not take long for me to pick everything up because I wasn't having to do much organization. I was just throwing everything into the baskets. Now, in case you're new, I did want to share a little bit more about myself. I live in a little town right outside of Savannah, Georgia, and my husband's name is Chance. We've been married for almost 14 years in June. And like I said, we have our two kiddos, and we also have a chocolate lab named Cooper. You'll see him occasionally pop in and out of my videos. And then we recently got 3 kitties, which I never in a million years thought would happen, but it did. Gracie June's very persistent. Now on my channel, I share lots of cleaning, organizing, home decor, and I also sprinkle in some recipes and other mom-related content into my videos. So if you enjoy that kind of content, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe to my channel and introduce yourself down in the comments so that way we can get to know a little bit about you as well. And if you're a returning subscriber, I'm so glad that you're here for another video, and I'm just so grateful that you take the time out of your busy schedules to come hang out with me. I truly wish that there was a way that I could hang out with all of you in real life, because I just love getting to chat with you guys in the comments, and it's so cool having so many friends all around the world. So thank you again for being here and for all of your support.
Yeah, we could try to leave it all behind, and we don't have to think about it. Oh baby, try to rest your mind. I wanna catch you like every time that you fall.
Okay, no judgment zone here, but it has been forever since I have cleaned the window tracking here on this window and really any of the windows around our house. So I wanted to get this one done today since I was up here cleaning. So here you can see we've got a lot of mess caked on. This is the little view that you can see from our top window, and people are always asking for more views of the yard and stuff, so I wanted to share that with y'all. But like you can see here, it has been a while since I've cleaned this, so I'm going to start with vacuuming, and then I'm actually going to pull out my Bissell Steam Shot to clean the window tracking, because all of that caked up dirt on there would be so much easier to get off with the Steam Shot.
Give you the world that is outside your wall. If I was God, I would save you, take you where you belonged. If I could, I would get something new, then I would have what it takes, make you feel like you're safe, 'cause all I need is just some.
So here's a look, even after vacuuming, what it still looks like. All that stuff was kind of caked on there. So now I've got my steam shot. This thing is awesome. I'm just gonna spray it on, and then I will use a microfiber cloth to wipe up the mess, and it actually works really, really well without having to put a whole bunch of elbow grease into it. But I love this steam shot because you can seriously use this thing to clean so many things around your house, from bathroom sinks to toilets, appliances, all kinds of things, and it's super lightweight and easy to store. And in case you're interested, I will have a link to the Bissell Steam Shot down in my description box. And if you hear me mention anything else in this video as far as tools or products, I'll have links for those too in the description box. That way you can check them out and they're easy to find. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all this little section that I just did with the steam shot versus what I haven't touched yet. So that really came out pretty quickly. Now in the very corners of the windowsill, I did have to spray multiple times. I had to get in there really good and clean it over and over, but still it was way better than trying to just use a spray to clean it out. So while I was cleaning, I decided to go ahead and take the screen out and try to get the outside part of the windowsill as well. I never do this, and I probably should do it more often. And honestly, I probably should have took that out first and just cleaned the whole windowsill at one time instead of in sections, because even when I was cleaning out right there, like little pieces would come in and get back on where I'd already cleaned. So next time I'll definitely take out the screens first, and those probably need to be cleaned outside. But as you can see, we're up on the second story of our house, so I couldn't just like drop it down or anything and have to run down and clean them out. But next time I will take them out first and clean all of the windowsills at once. So like I said earlier, all of my windows are in need of a good deep cleaning because it's been so long since I've cleaned like the window trackings of everything and also the outsides of our windows. So hopefully we can get that done during our spring cleaning. But for now, I'll just be cleaning this one. Which, speaking of spring cleaning, how many of you are ready for spring and warmer weather? Since I'm in Georgia, it really doesn't get too cold here, but let me tell you, I am ready for weather in the high 70s and 80s. I just love warm weather. So this year, I was actually thinking about doing a spring cleaning series where maybe we could come up with a spring cleaning checklist and all of us could do our cleaning together. So you'll have to let me know if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in. And if it is, let me know what is on your must-do list for spring cleaning, so that way I can make sure to include it in the spring cleaning checklist.
hypnotizing. You were not meant for me, still not surprising. Need no apologies, cause I just don't really care what you think, what you think, what you think. Shame on me thinking it was just a phase. Got me like ooh, got me like ooh. Ain't it fun recognizing your mistakes? Got me like ooh, feeling so ooh. Now I brought my worst behavior, throwing a party in my head. Yeah, prayers from all my saints.
Now the last thing I need to do in here is vacuum, which I'm still using my Shark Uplight, my all-time favorite vacuum cleaner ever. It does have a cord, but it's super lightweight and super powerful. But I told you guys in a recent video that I think that this Shark has been discontinued, this particular model, and the only place that I've been able to find that they're still selling it is Walmart. But every single time I share it, it goes out of stock really quickly. So keep checking the link if you want to check out this vacuum. It might be in stock, and if it is, then you better snag it fast because it goes out of stock so quickly. But since this one is being discontinued and it's also out of stock constantly, I have been wanting to purchase a new Shark vacuum that's comparable to this one, that works just as good, about the same price. And so I did order one, and then Walmart refunded me because the vacuum I ordered was no longer available. So now I'm having to order a new one. So I will try it out for you guys and let you guys know if it's a good vacuum or not, because if I'm sharing vacuums over here on my channel, I want to make sure that you're able to purchase it. And I do want to stick with the Shark brand just because I know that all of their vacuums are amazing. I really don't think you can go wrong with a Shark vacuum. But like I said, I want to make sure that I get a vacuum that isn't going to break the bank. So it's going to be an affordable vacuum, and it works just as good as my Shark Uplight. But I promise I will let you guys know as soon as I have a new vacuum to try out and let you know how it works. Okay, so this is the next day, and I still had a lot of cleaning to get done. So I'm going to start here in my bedroom. I'm going to make up my bed, tidy up in here, and then I'll head into the master bedroom or bathroom, and I'm just going to do a quick clean in there. I'm not doing a deep clean or anything today, but I'm just going to kind of tidy up and wipe down the surfaces in there. So I don't know if you guys noticed the guitar in the playroom, but it's actually Chance's guitar, which is my husband. And he has been playing some songs up there for the kids over the last few days, and so we just left it up there, which is fine because we usually keep it under our bed, but we'll just keep it in the playroom for right now. But I wanted to tell you guys the story about how Chance proposed to me. So it was during the summer. It was, I guess it was the summer before our senior year of college. So it was in July, late July. We were about to go back to school in August for our senior year. And I was visiting Chance at his parents' house, and it was right around his parents' wedding anniversary. So we went out to dinner to a really nice restaurant downtown Savannah. It's actually our favorite restaurant, called Alligator Soul. So if you're ever in Savannah, I highly recommend it. But he brought his guitar with us, and he said he'd written a song for his parents. So after we ate, we were in the restaurant, and he pulls his guitar out, and I remember him saying that he was going to be singing a song that he wrote for his parents, and then he was going to sing a song that he wrote for me. But he says he said the opposite. I think he was just nervous and didn't know what he was saying. But so he starts to sing this song, and the whole time I'm listening to him sing and the lyrics, and I'm so confused why he would be singing these lyrics about his parents. And then all of a sudden in the song, he ends up asking me to marry him. And he stops playing. He gets down on one knee. He pulls the ring box out of his pocket and drops it onto the floor. And it rolls underneath the table. And so he has to go fishing under the table to find it. Holds it back out and asks me to marry him again. And it was the sweetest thing, but it was also hilarious at the same time. Obviously, I said yes, and it was amazing. But another thing that was funny is shortly before he pulled out the guitar to sing, there was another couple getting engaged in the restaurant. So it made Chance even more nervous to propose to me because obviously we just witnessed some other couple getting engaged. But it was awesome, and I just love how it ended up turning out. Now, I'm moving upstairs to quickly take off the bedding on Gracie June's bed. I wanted to wash this on this day, so I'm going to throw that in the washing machine. But if you guys have any fun proposal stories, like either for you or someone that you know of, y'all let us know in the comments. I always love hearing a good proposal story.
Myself to hold my hand.
Alright, so now I've got a little laundry folding motivation for you. Had lots of laundry to fold and put away, so I'm going to do that really quickly. And then I will head into the kitchen to get started on cleaning in there. So as I'm folding clothes, I wanted to tell you guys about something that's been on my heart the last few weeks. I came across this Facebook post, and it was talking about pretty much how much simpler life was before social media. So before Pinterest, we didn't have all these elaborate birthday parties, and before Instagram, we didn't feel like we had to have our houses look like it was staged to sell at all times. And before YouTube and Extreme Clean With Me videos, we didn't feel like our houses were as messy as we do now because we see the houses that are getting cleaned to perfection. And so I totally get what the Facebook post was saying, and I do feel like things were definitely much simpler before we had all this access to social media and seeing so much into other people's lives and feeling like we have to live up to the same standards. But when you guys come to my channel, I never, ever, ever want you to feel like my house is immaculate and the cleanest house ever and my mess isn't as big as your mess, and I just don't want you to feel like that. I do want you to remember that I am only showing you bits and pieces of my house while I'm filming. So you might see one room is a mess. I get it all cleaned up and the space gets cleaned right, but maybe I didn't show you the bathroom that day, or maybe I didn't show you my office, which is typically the messiest room in my house, and it's also the first room you see when you walk in, so it's awful, but that's where I usually throw all of my boxes and just random stuff, so it stays really, really messy majority of the time, but you don't always get to see that. So I did want to take the time to just tell you guys that you don't always see every single mess that I have in my house at one time, or anybody's mess in an Extreme Clean With Me video. Also, I'm not cleaning my entire house in one day, and I don't think that most people do it that way because we're so busy, and that's okay. So some people may only have one day during the week where they can get it all cleaned, and that's what works for them. And that's what they do. But I don't think that the majority of us are cleaning the entire house and deep cleaning it all in one day. We try to sprinkle whatever cleaning we can into our schedule, however we can make that happen. Also, another point I wanted to make was that someone commented on my channel the other day that my videos are not relatable because my house is not really that messy and I'm just cleaning up random dishes in the sink that don't take long to clean. And so I wanted to remind you guys that everyone is at different stages of life. So like I said earlier, my kids are 8 and 10. So they're not going to be as messy as someone who maybe has toddlers or a baby and has tons of toys lying around, because like I said, my son really doesn't even play with toys anymore unless it's outdoor stuff and video games. So I don't have as much as of a mess to clean up typically because I don't have as many items, whereas someone with a baby, there are a ton of toys that they have to keep out continuously, maybe even bigger items. So you're going to see more of that kind of mess with babies than you are with an 8 and a 10-year-old. But that's the beauty of YouTube. And the fact that there are so many amazing women that post cleaning motivation videos and mom life content on their channels is because you can find someone who is at the same stage of life as you, or around the same stage, and you can relate to them, and hopefully you get motivated from them and pick up some tips and tricks that they share in their videos. And I really hope that everyone can find someone that they can relate to. But on the other hand, I also have people who comment and say that my house is a disaster all the time and that they can't believe that I let my house get this way. So there's going to be people with different opinions about people no matter what. But I really just hope when you come here that you feel motivated and encouraged. And I never ever want you to compare your mess to mine and think that you have to get as much cleaned as I do, or that your clean is not good enough. Everyone is at different stages of life and has different work schedules, and everyone just has to find what works for them. And I also want to say that you guys are such a blessing to me, and even though I just talked about a comment that maybe was not so nice, I get way more encouraging comments than I do the mean ones. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys, to everyone who leaves an encouraging word, because you may not know it, but all of those comments truly make me feel loved and special and seriously make my day every single time that I read them. So thank you again for being here, and like I said, I just hope that you feel encouraged when you leave here, and if you don't, I hope you find someone on YouTube that can make you feel motivated and that you can just relate to, because like I said, there's a ton of amazing YouTubers in this little niche that we're in that make cleaning videos or mom life content that I think you will love. Okay, so now I'm quickly cleaning up my dishes, and like I said, I don't have a ton of dishes to clean because typically we clean up our kitchen at night and load our dishwasher, and that's when the biggest messes are happening in my kitchen, is when we're cooking and everybody's eating. And usually I film my videos during the day while the kids are at school, because after school it's so hard for me to do that because we have sports almost every day of the week. And actually, I think it's Monday through Thursday, and then a lot of times we have Saturdays and Sundays we have sports as well. So a lot of evenings, it's just really, really hard for me to clean and film, because it does take longer for me to film videos or to clean when I'm filming versus when I'm just cleaning it up really quickly. But I'm thinking about trying, I'm going to attempt to film a cleaning video maybe one day during the week in the evening, so that way you can kind of see how we do things and how messy our kitchen actually does get. But I also try to do a lot of like meal prep and things earlier in the day, since we are gone for sports in the evening. So I don't know, we're just at a different stage right now where it's super, super busy in the evenings, and we have to find ways to make it work for us.
The shadows of what we have been, sleeping with your back facing me. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer, let's fall in love. Oh, I can feel my body move to every move you make, and I can feel the tension every time we're close. I know whatever happens, I will have you next to me, 'cause tonight we have it all. 'Cause we're dancing as one. 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 We've been in two places all at once.
Okay, we're at my favorite part of cleaning the kitchen, which is when I start cleaning the wood countertop. That means that I am pretty much done, and all that needs to be done now is a quick vacuum, which I'm going to go clean the living room, just tidy up in there first, and then I'm going to do a quick vacuum with our cordless vacuum. But y'all will have to let me know, what is your favorite part of cleaning the kitchen, or maybe the part that you don't mind the most. Alright, now I'm going to tidy up here in the living room really quick. And I was laughing when I was picking up in here. I was like thinking how many jackets and pullovers and everything were on the back of our couch right here. I think I counted 8 total, and that's between all of us. We had some, well, there was a sweatshirt, and then there were a few pullovers and a jacket, but we don't have like a mudroom or anything, and so we don't really have anywhere to hang our jackets, and my kids' bedrooms are upstairs, so typically like they take them off and throw them either over the chair at our breakfast table, or they'll throw them over the end of the couch, and we all do this. So anyways, I had to pick all those things up and take them upstairs, and now I'm going to do a quick vacuum here in the kitchen, the living room, and also in our bedroom.
Through this, let's just keep on dancing as one. You and me are moving, make sure we get through this. Let's just keep on dancing as one. 'Cause we're dancing as one. 'Cause we're dancing as one. 'Cause we're dancing as one.
Okay, now I've headed back upstairs, and I'm going to clean up here in the kids' bedrooms. They weren't too messy, but I needed to dust in here anyways, so I'm just tidying up, dusting, and getting their rooms cleaned. Now, as I'm looking at Gracie June's bookshelf, I really need to declutter some of these books, and so I'll probably end up giving some to my nephew and a few of my teacher friends. But I was thinking, do you guys include like decluttering on your spring cleaning checklist, or do you consider that just something totally different that you should do at the beginning of the year or throughout the year? Because I also need to declutter their clothes for spring, and I typically do that like February, March, so that way we can start putting in their new spring clothes, because I always find that my kids size up around springtime. So before I get a whole bunch of new spring clothes to put in here, I do need to start decluttering. So that's on my list of things to do as well.
City lights are making me wanna be something else than I'm meant to. Spending time reminiscing of what it used to be, not letting go when I want to.
Okay, so this was really funny. I did a poll on Instagram the other day while I was actually filming this video, and I asked over on Instagram, how many of your kids, or do your kids make their beds first thing in the morning before they go to school or not? And 88%, I think it was like 88% of you said that they do not make their beds. So y'all let me know down in the comments, do your kids make their beds every single morning or not? And there's no in between. Either they make their bed every single day of the week in the morning or they don't. And this is a no judgment zone. Either way, I just want to know whether your kids make their beds or not first thing in the morning. And then you guys can kind of read through the comments and see what the typical answer is. And I will tell you guys my answer. So you just saw me make up Kaysen's bed. And my kids typically do not make their beds every single morning. Now, on the weekends, they do make their beds in the morning. On weekdays, they do not. During the summer, they make their beds in the morning. But during the school week, we have to be out of the house by 7:10 in the morning to get to school on time. So I do not make them make their beds in the morning just because they have to get up, they have to eat, they have to brush their teeth, get dressed, and do all the things first thing in the morning, and they're a little bit slow. So I just don't want to add one more thing right before school, and maybe that's a bad parenting decision. I don't know, but that's just what works for us. But during the summer and on the weekends, they do make their beds. They have a little bit more, time to get things done in the morning. So that is typically how it works in our house. And it's funny though, because both of our kids have the Beddys bedding, so it really takes like 2 seconds for them to actually make their beds. But like I said, I just don't want one more thing for them to have to worry about or for me to have to go check on before school starts in the morning. Now, when they get a little bit older, I don't know, Kaysen's starting 6th grade next year, so maybe if he wakes up with his alarm and actually gets up. We used to use an alarm for him, and he would sleep straight through it. It wasn't like he was, just being lazy. He would just sleep through the alarm. So maybe if he's able to use an alarm and get up in the morning and just get all of his stuff done before we have to leave, that could be part of his morning routine. But for right now, I'm not making them do that in the mornings before school. So y'all will have to let me know. And if you do have a system that works for you to where you are able to get them to make their beds in the mornings, y'all will have to let us know that too. So here you can see I'm putting Gracie June's bedding back onto her bed. It's all nice and clean. And I love this bedding because it is only 2 pieces. It zips up, so it's super easy for kids to make their beds and make it look nice, because you know how sometimes when kids are learning to make their beds, it's really hard to make it look the way you like it to look. But with Beddys, it's super simple. All they do is just zip it straight up and put their pillows on their bed, and they're good to go. So if you're interested in trying out the Beddys bedding for your kids, I do have a 20% off coupon code down in the description box. You're definitely going to want to use it because this bedding isn't cheap, but it's really good quality, and my kids have had them. I think they've had these bedding sets for like 3 years now, and they're still in really good condition. So check out that coupon code in the description box. Alright guys, so that is all the cleaning I'm going to get done for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to subscribe if you're new and say hey in the comments and introduce yourself. And if you're needing even more cleaning motivation, I will leave some videos here on the screen at the end of this video, but I also have some fun ones linked down in my description box in case you're looking for specific areas to clean or organization projects. Go check that out. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.